Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Davidson Football Players Spotlight, powered by J.J. Wade & Associates. Our guest this week is center Bryce Simmons. I'm Jake Eisenberg. Bryce, up in Marist this past weekend, a tough loss for you guys. That's now back-to-back weeks of tough losses. What are your takeaways from games like that?
You obviously learn a lot in those kind of games. We've had been heartbreakers for sure, this week especially, but there are definitely a lot of teaching points, and you learn kind of where your team is, and I think we're at a good place right now because none of us are giving up or anything. It just kind of makes us stronger and more resilient to go get that next W next week and just kind of keep working and trucking along.
That's now 4 straight games for you guys that have been decided by one score. Won the first 2, lost the next 2. You said you guys have learned a lot from that process. What's one thing specifically that you've learned?
One thing that I think I've learned is just the fact that winning takes a lot more than most people would think, especially from where we were a year ago. So I think learning to have what it is to take and go get a win is just a big difference that I've learned from last year and then these past 4 games. It takes a lot more out of you than you expect, but the rewards are 10 times better than you even hope to imagine.
Now, as a senior, you've seen this Davidson football program grow pretty exponentially over the last 4 years, especially from last year to this year. New coach, new offense. What's that been like?
It's been a great time, honestly. I mean, it's been a little bit of a learning curve at the beginning just because we've ran something on the offense that I've never even been a part of really before. But it's been a great experience. Coach Abel is awesome. I've had a great time being coached by him. And I've had just I can't even explain how much better this year is than last year. It's just been a 180-degree turnaround, and it's really great to be a part of.
Now, with that new coach and new offense came a new position for you. You moved from guard to center. What was the biggest challenge for that adjustment?
I played center a little bit earlier in my career, but that was as a backup role. So just getting back into snapping every day and making sure I wasn't snapping over the quarterback or throwing it 10 yards back and getting yelled at and everything. So it wasn't too much. It was just kind of getting back into the role of, like, first job is get the ball back there, and the second job is go block somebody. So balancing those 2 roles.
Was it always going to be football for you? Because at East Forsyth High School, you were also a pitcher.
It was going to be football once I figured out I was going to be a little bit bigger and stronger and everything. So baseball has always been one of my loves, but football was just the place it was going to be and where I had the most recruiting from.
One thing in high school, you were inspired by one of your teachers to really enjoy history, and maybe you want to be a little bit like him once you're done here. Teaching and coaching might be in your future. How did that all start?
My junior year, I took AP US History with Mr. Sapp, and just the passion he taught with and just how he made the classroom fun. I just really enjoyed it. And then I saw all my high school coaches and how much fun they had doing their job and everything. It just kind of seemed like something that I would love to do later in my career. Maybe not necessarily, but right away, but definitely later on in my career.
Between Mr. Sapp and now Coach Abel and the other influences you've had, speaking specifically of Coach Abel, what's something that you've learned from him as a coach this season?
Just the way that he's able to, rally our team, bring a group of players together and have them work for a common goal. The we that we always talk about is we've definitely embraced that idea, and I think that he has the ability that he has to work that into our mind and bring us all together and have us work for that common goal is just something great and something awesome to see.
You guys have a tough Stetson team coming to Richardson Stadium this Saturday. What's the message from you to the fans?
We're going to give it all we got, and hopefully this time we're going to figure out how to get the win because the ball just hasn't been bouncing our way the past 2 weeks. So hopefully this week it'll bounce our way, and then we'll get the job done. All
right, Bryce, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck this weekend against
Stetson.
You can check out Davidson football this Saturday, 1 o'clock at Richardson Stadium. They take on the Stetson Hatters. If you can't make it out of the stadium, you can listen to the game on the Davidson Football Radio Network. You can also follow along on Twitter at DavidsonFB. This has been the Davidson Football Players Spotlight. I'm Jake Eisenberg. We'll talk to you next week.